because um, this is something that I've really been dealing with for the last 4 years. Excuse me. Other than other different types of spiritual warfare and just other things going on, and how I know they can see you, they watch you, you watch your every move because there are so many implants that's in you. Okay, people are already AI. There's no such thing as a human being. The real human beings are on a different ship. I might as well go on and tell the truth right now, whether people think I'm crazy or not, because the truth of the matter is people are already AI. I mean, they've been AI. And now you're literally going to be just turned into robots. But this is what I've decided. I forgot what I was going to say. I was saying about ships. I was saying something about ships, and I was saying that we were brought here on ships, meaning that our consciousness was transferred and our conscious awareness was transferred over here, some of us. We came from somewhere else. We were brought here on ships and not by water, spaceships. I've already seen them, so it's like, okay, at this point, with so much going on and how dangerous it is right now, I can't even worry about somebody calling me crazy, because that's like a compliment compared to some of the things that I've seen and some of the dangers that I face every single day. Calling me crazy, a lunatic, schizophrenic is like the best thing that you can say at this point. Like, whatever. I wish that was the worst thing that I can go through. I really do. Okay. So at this point, calling me crazy, okay, that can't hurt my feelings, because some of the stuff that it's not even I've seen. It's my doggone experience. I would like to trade it just for people calling me crazy. I would like to trade that experience just for people calling me crazy. I can deal with that. You know. But anyway, there was a movie came out called THX 1138. That was the name of this character. The character played by Robert Duvall. His name was THX 1138 in the movie called THX. And it was directed by George Lucas in 1971. THX, the letters THX. When you Google that, you're gonna see what's happening right now. Google THX. If you want to pay for it, just rent it for $3 or whatever. It's gonna explain to you what's going on. What else? And this other movie is called They Live. That is really relevant to what we're seeing right now. That movie called They Live. It came out in 1988. Okay. I forget that guy, the black guy's name, David something. And that wrestler, Roddy Piper. Okay. I have no choice but to live by the Spirit. Right now, I see human strength is not going to take care of this alone. I'm not interested in being strong anymore. Being strong, I'm not interested. I've been given, now some people don't want to believe in it, that's on them, because you know what, when it comes to all these other different practices, those entities, I don't know about them. And I don't know if those other entities are going to get me through what's going on right now. All these other entities, and to be honest with you, some of the stuff that I've seen, where people are putting witchcraft on each other using all these little deities, whether it's voodoo or whatever it is, I don't think they understand they're not going to make it out of here. Because the one group of people they can't beat, now they might be able to, unalive people that they're using witchcraft against. But the one group of people they not gonna be able to beat, and I'm talking about black people especially, black women, black men. The one people they're not gonna ever be able to beat using some witchcraft are the ones that's trying to kill them, unalive them. They will never be able to beat them using their witchcraft. These people they know too much. Because if they would have been able to get out of to defeat these people, they would have been out of here by now. They can't get out of here. The people that have you in a state of sleep, them whatever magic they're using is not going to be able to get rid of them because they control the whole earth. But and I say that to say because it's frustrating that at this time there's still people that's wanting to hurt each other. After everything that we're witnessing that's going on, it's people that still want to hurt each other. But I'm gonna say this before I get off. They're trying to take people out in their sleep. They're trying to they want to transfer people's consciousness while they are sleeping. It's easy to do when somebody is sleeping. They want to transfer your consciousness. As long as you're aware, you're alert, and you know what's going on, it's harder for them to do. But when you want to burst things off and call people crazy, and then go back to sleep, there's a good chance that you might not wake up back in your reality. Or you might wake up in your reality, but it's only for so long that you're going to be conscious, yet that's going to be your conscious awareness until you don't wake up in that reality anymore. And you're going to you might end up a robot or whatever and not even remember being a human. I told you, it's like that movie called The Wizard of Oz. The Tin Man, he used to be a human, but I don't know how he was reminded that he was a human, but he said he forgot that he was a human being. That's what's happening. You're forgetting, and when I say you, I'm just speaking in general. You're gonna forget that you were a human. But like I said, this particular part of the world is humankind anyway. We're on a different ship. We're not on the ship. That's what I was saying earlier. We're not on the ship with the real humans anyway, because our consciousness was transferred to a different ship. And all of our codes, we were remade over. Like we were remade. Our intelligence, everything was remade. We're humankind at this point. We're not like the real humans because we were taken to a different ship. And the evil beings that's running this world are probably the ones that made us over. It's really best to know the truth, and whatever, even if it sounds crazy, it's best to learn the truth and nothing but the truth. At this point, I think that's the only thing that's going to set you free. Well, I don't think I know. It's going to set you free, but it's really best to just go and let the ego go. Just let it go. It's best not to hold on to the ego anymore. I've decided to, like I say, live completely, go on and live by the spirit. I don't care how boring it is. I don't care. I probably can't be around a whole lot of people. Well, I don't do that anyway. So, but it's best to go on and live by the spirit. It's best to find a way to do things to bring you close to your soul, like things that bring you joy. And that's like some of the things that you knew that you were supposed to do, but because finances got so hard, you had to go on and work. And I understand how that is. But it's best at this time to go on and try to do things that's bringing you close to your soul, the things that bring you joy, instead of just surviving at this point. Because that's taken away from your imagination, and it's making it easier for them to turn you into a robot. But yeah, that's all I want to say. Yeah, I don't want to just live as a regular human anymore, even though this is humankind, but still, I don't want to live as a regular human anymore. I just really, at the point, just need to live completely by the Spirit. And dare I say, possessed by the Spirit. At this point, I don't want to use any part of my ego, nothing at all, nothing outside of the Spirit, because I see it's real dangerous what they're doing. It's real dangerous. What they've done is dangerous. And a lot of people aren't aware. And the only reason I'm aware is because of stuff that's been going on with my CNS, central nervous system, stuff that I can feel. Maybe some people are not able to feel the things that I can feel. I don't know. But um, if other people might be, the same thing might be going on with them, but they don't feel it, it's probably more dangerous because they think they're okay. In THX, that movie, there were no black people, and they were underground. There were no black people, and it was one black guy that came in, and he said he was a hologram because it was the character that Robert Duvall played, and another guy was like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And he said that I'm a hologram, and it was a black guy. He said he was a hologram. He said they just created him. Now he don't even know where he came from. He didn't even know it was anybody else who looked like him. Like he lost all of his memories. He lost all of his memories, and he's a hologram. And there was no other black people. Certainly, there weren't any black women. I mean, I've just been noticing in media, especially in mainstream movies like that. I've been seeing black women being taken out. You know, but like I say, as long as you stay in your ego like that, they probably will win. I don't think your ego is going to be able to defeat them because they probably created you. They changed your codes and everything. But I mean, it's probably other ways to make it up out of here. It's definitely other ways to make it out of here. But because they are aware of what's going on, they are aware of people's codes being upgraded. They're always doing things to cause disasters. They're always doing things to cause emergencies and stuff where you need to take a VACC, that they're always creating these type of scenarios that keep you from that keep you from rising up. They did this in 1986. Black people were due to rise up in consciousness in 1986, and there were books on that. Bobby Hemmett talked about it. I think it was like a 17-minute video, and that's when he brought up Robert Duvall in that movie called THX. And he talked about how black people were faced with a decision. It's a book, I guess, came out in the 60s. I kept trying to hear the name of the book that he was talking about, and I never could understand what he was saying. But it's a book that came out in the doggone 1960s. And he talked about people had a decision. They had a decision to either create their own and do their own thing outside of the government, okay, or they could follow along with Martin Luther King Jr., okay, the civil rights activist. Black people, for the most part, I'm talking about most black people, chose to go along with Martin Luther King, chose to go along with integration, and chose to go along with being able to vote and being under the government. And the problem with that is that the government owns you at that point. And they can do whatever they want to do with you. They're not wrong because black people had a choice. At this point, they're not wrong in what they're doing because we don't remember, because we weren't born back then, that black people had a choice. And they chose to go along with white people. And I'm not against white people. I'm talking about a particular group of white people. Not all white people are the same. You have a particular species of white people. Like if you were seeing that movie called They Live, you see a particular group of white people that's blending in with other white people that's not like them. Okay. But Yeah, black people for the most part chose to just go in and be able to vote and depend on the government and the system and all that stuff. Even though even through all of that, they were still treated unfairly. And into 2025, you still, I mean, you still able to get around or do things, but at the same time, you know that you would never be equal to them as like a regular ego type of person in this universe. You will never be equal to the white person. You just won't. Now, as a regular spirit, when you completely identity is completely in something else, then that don't even matter, right? You don't even identify as whatever people are called on this in this universe. But if you just live as some regular person, just trying to get along in this world, you're not going to be equal to the white person. It'll never be. But anyway, but yeah, so Bobby Hemmett went to talk about that, talking about how black people had a choice in the 1960s to go along and just create their own, and they had a choice. That means that nobody would have bothered them. So they had a choice to go on. And I really want to get that book, and then I want to discuss it, but I have no idea what the name of it is. But they had a choice to build their own and do their own thing. They wouldn't have been able to vote or nothing like that because they would have had their own land. They would have been, I guess, what you call like the Native Americans or whatever, that people that's called Native Americans today. They would have had their own properties. They would have just built their own. They would not have had any assistance from the government or anything like that. But they would have had to just build their own. I think some people felt like that was a good idea, but the majority of the black people decided to just go along and follow Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and go along with the government. And so black people are in this situation now. Black people were due to rise up in consciousness completely by 1986. And as Bobby Hemmett was talking in that same video, saying that it was 1990 something, as he was doing that lecture, he said, you know, this black people are supposed to completely rise up in 1986, but they getting dumber and dumber. And this was in the 1990s as he was doing this lecture. Now, where are black people right now? They're much, much worse than that. And it's because black people continue to be cloned. Like they've been cloned. Like they've been cloned because we come from a different ship. But we continue to be fragmented. Continue to be fragmented. You know. So yeah, that was it. I mean, yeah, so obviously we see that didn't happen, and it was a crash in 1986 too. I want to delve more into that one because I think people are believing the news. Say, oh, all those people that survived or not. Yeah, I don't believe anything the news say. I don't believe them. It's the news. All of this stuff is controlled by the people that look like those entities and they live. It's controlled by them. I don't trust the news. They don't want to know the truth, so I don't trust the news unless they're talking about little cute cats and dogs. I don't trust the news and telling me things that I really need to do, really need to know to help myself. Because one thing they don't want, specifically black people, or I call brown people specifically, they don't want you to know. One thing they don't want you to know is the truth, because in order for them to live, you have to stay asleep. You cannot be awake in order for them to live. So then why would they tell you the truth? They can't, because their survival depends on you staying in the sunken place. Their survival depends on you staying asleep. They're not going to tell you the truth. So I believe whatever happened in 1986, it was a lot more to it. And I always, ever since 2021, the crash of 1986 kept coming to me because I kept seeing little flashbacks and visions of the 1980s, and I'm in a school and I'm looking at the floor. I'm seeing shadows, but the school is abandoned, and I keep seeing flashbacks of that in the 1980s. I said something happened in the 1980s. And that crash in 1986, I want to look more into that crash in 1986. That was the time that black people were completely supposed to rise up in consciousness, and it did not happen. But anyway, that is it. I stayed on here a lot longer than I thought I would. But anyway, that's it, and I will talk later.